Imagine this. You wake up one morning. The price of food has jumped again. Gas is more expensive than last week. And every headline screams about new tariffs and slowing growth. It feels like the walls of the economy are closing in. History tells us stagflation is one of the hardest storms to survive. High inflation, low growth, rising unemployment, and now tariffs fuel the fire, making life heavier for ordinary people. But here's the twist most don't see. Inside every crisis, a small group grows richer, stronger, and freer, while the majority feels trapped. The question is why? This is where my message comes in. My name is Harv Eker. For years, I've studied how people think about money, how they act under stress, and why some thrive while others collapse. And what I found is simple yet shocking. Wealth has less to do with the outside world and more to do with the blueprint running in your mind. That inner pattern, often hidden and unconscious, controls how you respond to tough times. And right now, with tariffs reshaping trade and stagflation casting a shadow, that blueprint may be the only thing standing between scarcity and abundance. Most people are waiting for governments, for banks, for politicians to fix this storm, but history is clear. During the oil shocks of the 1970s, waiting meant losing. Those who adapted, who shifted how they thought and acted, became the winners. And here's the little known truth. Tariffs don't just raise prices. They shift entire industries, create hidden opportunities, and reward those with eyes to see. While newspapers focus on losses, the wealthy quietly look for new value to create. This is how fortunes are built in chaos. In this video, I'm going to share my playbook for wealth in today's tariff-driven stagflation era. Not theory, not slogans, a step-by-step way to think, act, and structure your life so you don't just survive, you grow. You will learn how to rewire your money mindset so fear doesn't control you. You'll see how to use simple money systems that give you clarity, even when markets shake. You'll discover how to shift from a victim of tariffs to a creator of new opportunities. And I'll reveal why discomfort is not your enemy. It's your ticket to growth. Stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to break down the most overlooked principle of all, the law of responsibility, the hidden line that separates the wealthy from the struggling in every crisis. Once you see it, you'll never look at money or your life the same way again. If you've ever wondered why some people always bounce back, why they always seem to find a way, no matter how bad the economy looks, this is your moment. Because what I'm about to show you isn't just about wealth, it's about freedom, choice, and taking back control of your life in a world that feels out of control. Welcome to THarvEker Motivation. If you're ready to change your mindset, take back your power, and write your own story of wealth in these turbulent times, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. The journey starts here. Before we talk about the solutions, we first need to understand the problem, because if you don't see the enemy clearly, you can't win the battle. And the enemy we face today is something called tariff-driven stagflation. It's a big word, it sounds complicated, but I'll break it down for you in the simplest way possible. Stagflation is what happens when the economy slows down, but prices keep rising at the same time. Normally, when growth slows, prices also go down. That's what most people expect. But stagflation is different. It breaks the rules. You get the pain of inflation, where everything costs more, and at the same time, you get the pain of stagnation, where jobs are scarce and growth is weak. It's like running in quicksand. Every move feels harder, and progress seems impossible. Now add tariffs into this picture. Tariffs are extra taxes on goods that cross borders. Governments put them in place to protect local industries or to pressure other countries. But here's the hidden truth. Tariffs don't just punish the other side. They hit everyone, including you. When tariffs are added to imports, companies raise their prices. That means you, the customer, pay more at the store. It's like a ripple effect. Higher costs for businesses, higher costs for consumers, slower trade and slower growth. Think about it. A car maker in the US might need steel from abroad. If a tariff is slapped on that steel, the cost of making the car rises. The company has two choices: lose profit or raise the price. Most raise the price. That means the buyer pays more for the car. Now multiply this by thousands of products, from food to clothes to electronics. Tariffs quietly push inflation higher, and the weight falls on ordinary people. At the same time, businesses that depend on trade suffer. They may cut jobs. They may delay investments. They may even close down. That's where the stagnation part comes in. Growth slows and opportunities shrink. So what you're left with is a double squeeze. Your money buys less and your chances to earn more also fall. History gives us a clear picture of this. In the 1970s, the U.S. faced stagflation when oil prices surged after geopolitical shocks. Inflation soared while the economy crawled. Now today, tariffs are playing a similar role. They act like a tax on growth, making prices higher and slowing activity at the same time. And once stagflation starts, it's very hard to fix. Why? Because the usual tools don't work well. If central banks raise interest rates to fight inflation, growth slows even more. If they lower rates to boost growth, inflation climbs higher. It's a trap, a no-win scenario, unless people and businesses learn to adapt from the ground up. And this is why I'm talking about it, because most people only see the headlines about higher grocery bills or rising gas prices. They don't realize there's a deeper force at work reshaping the entire economy. Tariff-driven stagflation is especially tricky because it is man-made. Unlike a natural disaster or a pandemic that hits suddenly, tariffs are policies chosen by governments. Leaders use them as tools of negotiation, but the cost trickles down to families, workers, and small business owners. You might think tariffs only affect big corporations, but they touch every link of the chain. If a farmer has to pay more for equipment, food prices rise. If a tech company has to pay more for chips, gadgets become more expensive, and it all loops back to the drama here is not just economic, it's personal. It's the stress a parent feels when the weekly shopping bill jumps, but the paycheck stays the same. It's the fear a worker feels when their factory slows production because materials cost too much. It's the anxiety of an entrepreneur who can't compete because tariffs have cut off affordable supplies. This is not just theory. This is the lived experience of millions of people when stagflation grips an economy. And here's the suspenseful part. Most people don't even realize we are drifting toward it until it's already here. Inflation, they notice. Slowing growth, they sense. But stagflation is the combination, and by the time the signs are clear, it's too late for quick fixes. Economists call today's situation stagflation late. It's not as severe as the 1970s, at least not yet, because technology, innovation, and stimulus money are cushioning the blow. But the risk is real. Every new tariff adds fuel to the fire. Every price hike, every slowdown pushes us closer to that quicksand. Another hidden fact is that tariffs can sometimes backfire. A country might use them to protect jobs at home, but in the long run, the same tariffs can destroy more jobs than they save. For example, protecting steel producers with tariffs raises costs for automakers. That means fewer cars made, fewer workers hired, fewer sales completed. So while one sector gains a small advantage, the overall economy suffers a bigger loss. That's the paradox of tariffs in a stagflation environment. So where does this leave you? It leaves you in the middle of a storm, not of your making. Prices rising on one side, opportunities shrinking on the other. A squeeze that feels unfair, relentless, and heavy. And yet, within this squeeze lies a hidden truth. Stagflation doesn't hit everyone equally. Some people, the ones who shift their mindset and act strategically, actually come out stronger. They see the patterns, they adjust, they find ways to create value even when the system seems against them. Before we move forward, I want you to sit with this thought. Tariff-driven stagflation is not just an economic term. It is the air you breathe, the price tags you see, the job market you depend on. It is the stage on which your financial story plays out. And while you cannot control tariffs and you cannot control global policy, you can control your response. That's why it matters that you understand this now, because once you see the game clearly, you can play it differently. So as we go deeper, keep this image in mind: an economy trapped in quicksand, weighed down by tariffs, pulled in opposite directions by rising prices and slowing growth. Most people will struggle, some will sink, but a few will learn how to move in a new way, a way that frees them from fear and turns crisis into a stepping stone. And that's where your real power begins. Why is this era different? Why are so many experts saying the word stagflation, but then quickly adding another word, light? In the past, stagflation meant disaster. In the 1970s, oil shocks pushed inflation into double digits. Growth froze. Unemployment soared. It was like being trapped in a maze with no exit. Every turn looked hopeless. That was full-blown stagflation. But today, what we see is a lighter version. Prices are rising, yes. Growth is slowing, yes. But the system hasn't collapsed. The floor hasn't disappeared under our feet. It's uncomfortable, but it's not free fall. Economists call this stagflation late because some forces are still holding the economy up. Artificial intelligence is one of them. Unlike the 1970s, today we are in the middle of a technology revolution. AI is driving productivity, creating entire new industries, and attracting massive investment. This energy keeps parts of the economy alive even while tariffs and inflation drag it down. Imagine a patient who's sick but still strong enough to walk, weak, yes, but not bedridden. That's the picture of stagflation late. Another support comes from stimulus. Governments have been pumping money into economies to prevent collapse, first during the pandemic and then through targeted programs. This has kept demand alive even when trade slowed and prices climbed. Some argue this spending is part of the reason inflation has stuck around, but it has also prevented the worst-case scenario. Without it, we would already be in a deeper recession. So, stimulus acts like a cushion, softening the fall. Investments also play a role. Despite the uncertainty, money keeps flowing into innovation, green energy, biotech, advanced manufacturing. These investments create jobs and output that balance the drag from tariffs. It's not enough to erase the pain, but it's enough to keep the machine turning. That's why this era feels different. The symptoms are real: higher bills, slower opportunities, but the collapse is not complete. We are caught in a struggle, but not yet in despair. But here's what matters: whether it is full stagflation or stagflation light, the effect on your life feels real. Your grocery cart costs more, your paycheck stretches less. Growth may be slow, but your expenses are fast. That's why this conversation matters. Because even if economists debate the label, you live the reality. And the question is, what do you do with it? This is where my core idea comes in. Wealth doesn't begin outside of you. It doesn't begin in the stock market or in trade policy or in the White House. It begins inside your mind. Your money mindset is the hidden thermostat of your financial life. Just like a thermostat in your home keeps the room at a set temperature, your money blueprint keeps your wealth at a set level. No matter what happens outside, you will unconsciously bring your finances back to that level unless you change the blueprint itself. That's why some people stay poor, even when the economy booms. That's why some people get rich, even during recessions. It's not luck, it's not magic, it's mindset. The patterns you carry from childhood, the beliefs you absorbed about money, the hidden assumptions you don't even notice, all of them shape how you think, how you act, and how you respond to crises. And in times like these, when tariffs and inflation are making life harder, your mindset is your most powerful weapon. You can learn to shift this blueprint. It is not fixed. It is not destiny. It can be reprogrammed just like rewiring a circuit. And once you change it, your results change. You stop being controlled by fear. You stop repeating the same financial mistakes. You stop thinking small. Instead, you begin to see opportunities where others only see problems. You begin to act with confidence even in uncertainty. You begin to grow no matter the conditions. This is what I teach through what I call the wealth files. 17 ways rich people think differently from poor people. 17 mental shifts that separate abundance from scarcity. Let me show you just a few, because once you see the difference, you will never unsee it. The first shift: the rich believe, I create my life. The poor believe, life happens to me. Think about that. In a world of tariffs and stagflation, the poor mindset says there's nothing I can do. I'm stuck. I'm a victim of the system. That belief kills initiative. It kills creativity. But the rich mindset says, this storm is happening, but I choose my response. I create my outcome. I will find a way. That belief opens doors. It pushes you to act. And action is the first step to wealth. Another shift: the rich focus on opportunities. The poor focus on obstacles. In stagflation, the obstacles are everywhere. Higher prices, slower growth, fear of layoffs. If you focus only on that, you freeze. You do nothing. You shrink. But the rich ask, Where is the opportunity hidden in this chaos? And there always is one. New industries rise. New needs appear. Old systems break and new ones are born. Those who look for opportunities find them, while those who stare at obstacles only see walls. A third shift. The rich think big. The poor think small. Hard times tempt people to shrink their dreams, to play safe, to aim lower, but that only locks you deeper into scarcity. The rich expand their thinking even in crisis. They ask, how can I grow bigger? How can I serve more people? How can I create more value? Big thinking leads to big actions, and big actions lead to big results, even when the economy is weak. These are just 3 of the wealth files. There are 14 more. Each one is a switch in your mind that changes your entire financial life. And here's the secret. You don't need to master them all at once. Even 1 or 2 shifts can change your direction. Even 1 shift can help you see the same world with new eyes. And when the world feels stuck in stagflation, new eyes are your most valuable asset. So understand this. Yes, this era is different. Yes, economists call it stagflation late. But don't let the word light fool you into thinking it is easy. Prices are still rising. Growth is still slow. The pressure is real. But the ultimate difference maker is not AI, not stimulus, not investment. It is your mindset. The question is, will you stay locked in the blueprint you inherited, or will you shift it to one that creates wealth no matter the storm? Because at the end of the day, the economy may change, but your mind decides your future. Mindset meets reality. When the economy gets hit by tariffs, on paper, it's easy to say, stay positive or think rich. But when you walk into a store and see prices climbing, when your paycheck doesn't stretch as far as it used to, when companies around you slow down or cut jobs, the pressure feels heavy. This is the moment where fear tries to take over. Fear whispers, it's out of your hands, you can't win, just survive. But fear is not the truth. Fear is a habit. And in a tariff shock, the difference between those who sink and those who rise comes down to one choice. Do you let fear control you, or do you reset your mind to see opportunity? Winners reset fast. They feel the fear, but they don't stay there. They ask, where's the opening? What can I do differently? What new doors are opening while old ones close? Victims freeze. They complain. They wait for rescue. Winners act. They adapt. They keep moving, and the economy always rewards movement. Every major crisis in history has proven this. The Great Depression produced new industries. The oil crisis created new energy strategies. The pandemic launched digital revolutions. In each case, those who shifted from fear to opportunity became leaders. The same choice lies before you today. Thinking like a winner means accepting change instead of fighting it. It's a tariffs change, supply chains, they change prices, they change what's possible and what's profitable. You can't control that, but you can control how you respond. Accepting change doesn't mean liking it. It means seeing it clearly, adjusting your plan, and moving forward anyway. Adapting fast is the skill of survival and the seed of wealth. The world doesn't slow down for your comfort. If you adapt faster than others, you get ahead while they are still complaining. This brings us to a core lesson I teach everywhere. Ownership is everything. You create your life. That's not just a slogan, it's the foundation of wealth. Most people spend their lives in blame and excuses. They blame the government, the economy, their boss, their parents, even fate itself, but blaming never creates results. Blaming makes you powerless. The moment you say it's not my fault, you hand over your control. Ownership is the opposite. Ownership says, this storm is here, it's tough, but I will decide how to navigate it. I will decide what actions I take. I will create my outcome. Don't wait for rescue. Don't wait for policies to change or for leaders to save you. History is clear. Waiting is losing. During every crisis, those who wait suffer most. Those who take control shape their own destiny. And control doesn't mean controlling everything outside of you. It means controlling what you think, what you believe, what you do. Own the chaos, and you own your results. The storm may be bigger than you, but your choices are still yours. And the people who own their choices own their lives. But here's the part many don't like. Ownership often feels uncomfortable. And this is the next key truth. Be ready for discomfort. Tough times are not designed to keep you cozy. They are designed to stretch you. When you stretch a muscle, it burns, it aches, but that's exactly how it grows stronger. Wealth works the same way. When tariffs hit, when inflation bites, when growth slows, your comfort zone shrinks. You are forced into new territory. That's not a punishment, that's your training ground. If you're uncomfortable, it means you're stretching. If you're scared, it means you're stepping into growth. Growth is never easy, but it is always worth it. Too many people avoid discomfort and end up avoiding success. They cling to safety and end up stuck. The wealthy don't seek pain, but they accept it as the price of progress. They know that storms build strength. They know that nothing extraordinary grows in comfort. So instead of running from discomfort, lean into it. Ask yourself, what is this struggle teaching me? How is this challenge shaping me into someone stronger? That mindset transforms hardship into fuel. And while you stretch, while you grow, there's another secret to remember. Focus on value, not just money. Most people chase income. They chase dollars like a hunter chasing prey. But money is never the real goal. Money is a result. It is the shadow of value. It follows value wherever value goes. If you chase only money, you panic in slow times. You get desperate when sales drop or when inflation eats your paycheck. But if you chase value, you stay strong because value never disappears. Solving real problems creates wealth. Even in stagflation, problems don't go away, they multiply. Families still need food. Companies still need innovation. People still need hope. If you train yourself to solve problems, to bring solutions where others bring complaints, you will never be without opportunity. Tariffs may close one door, but value seekers open another. And in every crisis, value creators become the winners. Don't ask, how can I make more money? Ask, how can I help more people? How can I solve bigger problems? How can I serve better? When you make value your focus, wealth becomes the side effect. The greatest fortunes in history were built on this principle. Henry Ford didn't chase money. He chased affordable cars. Steve Jobs didn't chase dollars. He chased better technology for people's lives. Money came because value came first. In tough times, this principle matters even more because when the economy shrinks, people become cautious with their money. They don't spend on fluff. They don't waste on empty promises. They spend where they see real value. That means if you're focused only on quick income, you'll struggle. But if you're focused on delivering value that truly helps, you'll thrive. Even in stagflation, people will pay for what solves their pain. So when mindset meets reality, three things become your compass. Reset fear into opportunity. Take ownership of your choices and focus on value, not just money. Add to that the courage to embrace discomfort. And you have the foundations of resilience. Tariffs may shake the market. Inflation may eat into savings. Growth may slow. But none of those forces can stop someone who thinks like a winner, takes control, accepts discomfort as growth, and builds wealth by serving value. This is the playbook that turns crisis into possibility and uncertainty into power. Keep learning and adapting. That is the golden rule in times of uncertainty. Mindset gives you the courage, but skills give you the tools. You can have the strongest belief system in the world, but if you refuse to learn, if you stay stuck in old habits, the world will pass you by. Tariff shocks are proof of this. They don't just raise prices, they change entire industries. They shift supply chains, they alter careers, they disrupt business models. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. That's why learning is not optional. It's survival. Think about how quickly the landscape changes. A tariff on one product makes another product suddenly more valuable. A barrier in one market pushes businesses into another. Skills that were secure a decade ago can vanish overnight. But here's the good news. The same disruption that kills some opportunities creates new ones. The only question is, are you prepared to learn fast enough to catch them? Those who resist learning fall behind. Those who embrace it adapt, grow, and thrive. Adaptation means being flexible, not rigid. It means asking yourself, what new skill will make me valuable now? What new idea will keep me relevant? What new approach will set me apart? Winners in turbulent times are lifelong students. They don't see learning as school that ended long ago. They see it as a daily habit, as important as eating or breathing. Every book, every course, every mentor, every experience becomes part of their survival kit. If you look at every major economic storm, the ones who came out stronger were the ones who adapted. Farmers in the Great Depression who learned new methods survived while others lost everything. Businesses in the digital revolution that embraced technology grew, while those that resisted closed their doors. And today, in a tariff-driven stagflation era, the same truth applies. The learners are the survivors, the adapters are the leaders. But learning alone isn't enough. You need systems that keep you grounded, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. One of the simplest yet most powerful systems I teach is the six-jar money system. It's not about having millions. It's about creating discipline, clarity, and balance with whatever you earn. Most people let money slip through their fingers because they don't control it. They spend without awareness. They save without a plan. And in times of stagflation, that weakness becomes fatal. The six-jar system solves this. It works like this. Every dollar you earn is divided into 6 categories. The first jar is for necessities, your daily living expenses, the basics that keep you running. The second jar is for long-term savings, your safety net, your stability. The third jar is for education, books, courses, coaching, anything that builds your skills and keeps you growing. The fourth jar is for play. Yes, enjoyment, because wealth without joy is empty. The fifth jar is for financial freedom, investments that grow over time and move you toward independence. And the sixth jar is for giving, because contribution multiplies wealth in ways money alone never can. When you use a system, something powerful happens. Chaos outside doesn't shake you as much. Inflation may raise prices, tariffs may shift costs, but you remain balanced. Your needs are covered, your growth is funded, your future is being built, your joy is honored, your freedom is growing, and your spirit is nourished by giving. It creates structure when the world feels unstable. It gives you confidence when others are panicking. It reminds you that wealth is not just about having more, it's about managing wisely what you already have. Even in times of stagflation, this system works. Maybe your income drops, maybe your expenses rise. But if you stay disciplined with the jars, you don't lose control. You adjust, you reallocate, you keep moving forward. And when the storm passes, you are stronger, steadier, and wealthier than those who abandon discipline for panic. Because panic is the real enemy. Tariffs may raise prices, but it's panic that destroys financial lives. This is why your mind must stay above your mood. Mind over mood. And stagnation is not a luxury, it's essential. When prices rise, the first reaction of most people is fear. They hoard, they complain, they freeze. Fear clouds judgment. Fear turns small problems into giant monsters. Fear makes people sell assets too soon, quit projects too fast, or give up altogether. But fear is not the truth, it's just a feeling. And feelings change. What must stay steady is your mindset. A calm mind sees opportunities. A calm mind makes rational decisions. A calm mind acts when others hesitate. That's why your job in stagflation is to stay calm and steady. Not blind, not ignorant, but calm. Prices will move. Policies will shift. Headlines will scare. But your wealth is not decided by the news. It's decided by how you respond to it. Think of it like a storm at sea. The waves are rough. The wind is fierce. If the captain panics, the ship is lost. If the captain stays calm, the crew follows. The sails adjust, and the ship moves through. You are the captain of your financial life. The storm may be bigger than you, but your calmness is bigger than the storm. Your calmness is not passive. It's active control of your inner world. It's the daily practice of reminding yourself, I create my life. I am not a victim. I focus on what I can control. I let go of what I can't. With this mindset, every challenge becomes training. Every shock becomes feedback. Every setback becomes a lesson. So keep learning, keep adapting, build your skills while you build your mindset. Use simple systems like the six-jar method to stay disciplined. And above all, keep your mind above your mood. Stay steady when others shake, because in the end, it's not the storm that decides your future, it's how you sail through it. Stagflation and tariffs can shake the world. They can unsettle markets, strain families, and test patience. But through it all, one truth remains. Your mindset is the anchor. Your wealth is not built on perfect conditions. It is built on clarity, courage, and the way you respond when the world feels uncertain. THarvEker's blueprint reminds us, own your life. Don't wait for rescue. Don't shrink in fear. Think big, even when the economy feels small. Keep learning, because growth doesn't pause for hard times. Serve value, because wealth flows to those who solve real problems. This storm doesn't have to break you. It can shape you. It can make you sharper, stronger, and more disciplined. Build wealth, not despite the storm, but because you mastered your mind. That is how winners rise in the toughest eras. If this message spoke to you, hit the like button and share your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, THarvEker Motivation, so you never miss a new insight to fuel your journey. Your breakthrough may be just one mindset shift away.